Okay, here I'm going to talk about defining your problem. So I just want to think about where you tend to encounter problems in your research activity. I do believe that problems which you encounter in your research activity may be in two situations. So the first problem is problems to be solved through research activity. Actually, this means um, almost your research topic. So you need to determine which problem you are going to solve through your research activities. So I would say as the first step in your research activity, defining a research problem. And also when you are working on some experiment or investigation, you may encounter problems. In this step for obtaining data. So I would say these are problems encountered in obtaining data. So what I observed in the communication with many of students is, so they are actually confused in these two types of problems. So you may feel like the problem which is encountered in the process of obtaining data as a research topic, and sometimes wander into kind of maze and you cannot come back. So if you wander into this type of maze, your supervisor and your colleague also may be confused with you and cannot do anything for you, cannot help you come back to proper process of a research activity. So just be noticed that these two things are different. The problem which should be solved through your research activity and troubles encountered in the process of obtaining data is completely different. Don't mix them up together. Anyway, when you encounter a problem, when you are defining a problem, what I suggest you to do is define these three information elements. So one is system, and another is positive state, and the other is negative state. So actually, when I communicate with many of students, or what I observe is actually they fail to clarify what is the problem uh, that they are going to solve. So my suggestion is do use this template. So once you successfully determine these three elements of information, so your problem is now very clear. So you can describe your problem by using this template with respect to these three information elements. Now, if we introduce system, positive state is generated, but negative state is also generated. Also, this concept is originated from the idea of the conflict, the abstract problem in trees. I already mentioned that trees methodology defines a problem as a situation that when we want to improve something, something else get worse. So this is a situation or problem. And so this template is just the application of Torit's methodology, the methodology of problem definition in Torit's methodology. And so I just want to play with, so what happens if you fail to define these three information elements? Actually, if you fail to determine one of these information elements, your problem cannot be defined. So what happens if you only define positive state, which is generated from the system? So there's a system and it generates positive state without generating negative state. Actually, it's not a problem. So you may just have not noticed the negative state. Yeah, but in this situation, so this kind of system shouldn't exist in the world of human being. So what's going on must be you have just failed to notice the negative state, you need to seek what's going on in the real world through probably literature review. You need to study more if you think your system is in this situation. Another example is, so what happens if you just define negative state generated from the system? So you may just have not noticed positive state in this case. I think there's a system and you define negative state. Yeah, sometimes students say, yeah, so if I ask, or what's your research topic, and they tend to answer, yeah, my research is about this system, and what's the problem? They just answer what the negative state is. Even their research paper, they fail to describe what's a positive state of their system. So what happens in this case is that, so if the situation, suppose there is a system which only generates negative state, what we could do is just eliminate the system. That's the best way to solve the problem, eliminate the negative state. So the problem should exist as a combination of positive state and negative state. This conflict is a problem. So if you think the problem is only negative state, you think about why the system exists. Probably there should be some reason human beings cannot remove the system from our world. So the core location of a problem can be clarified by defining the three elements. So I just want to stress by explaining this, how important these three information elements are. Okay, this is all for this section. Thank you for listening.